Hi and welcome. Kind of know what you're thinking. Why on earth would a channel dedicated to self-improvement and growth start with something as simple as smiling? Please hear me out. Give me just a couple of minutes and I'll share why. First, smiling emanates from a joyous heart. And if we're not learning and growing, we're slowly dying. So smiling really, therefore, affects your attitude, my attitude, and helps us with the way we perceive the world around us. If our natural state of being is more positive, we tend to learn and adapt and grow, shrug off negative situations more easily. You can kind of say that smiling really is the basics on how we're going to grow from here. So, like a coach with an athlete, they constantly drill on the basics. Their performance improves, they get better at what they do, and they begin to win. We're not in a competition, though. We're talking about being able to face life in a different way. So what can you do today that will help you, that you can practice on and change for tomorrow? Up next.
Hi, and welcome to PR Life, your positivity reflection connection. I'm Gabriel Roberts, and as you can see, a new day dawns, and so begins our journey together as we rediscover truths from ancient texts.
Today's shout out goes to the peacekeepers of our society. You know who you are. You know who they are. These are the drama-free people. These people don't hold grudges. They're free from strife and guilt and placing blame. These peacekeepers, they enjoy quiet time with friends and their family. They look to be informed, not to be right, but to be able to use reason during conversations. I really want to thank the peacekeepers of my own past for your patience and your time and understanding. I'm definitely not there yet, but I'm working on it. And please, for the peacekeepers that are in my life, keep showing me your example. I want to thank you for that patience. And while I'm still learning on this journey of peacekeeping, I want you to know that for those of you who don't understand that, peacekeeping isn't a weakness. It's a quiet strength until it's time not to be quiet. To the peacekeepers of our society, thanks.
We're going to start with a simple exercise. I want you to take a moment and sense how you're feeling. I want you to take a look inward and go, am I anxious? Am I fearful? Is there something bothering me that's kind of overwhelming my other senses? This is just an emotional pulse. And then what I want you to do is put that smile on. Not that exuberant laughing smile like you do with friends or taking a picture. No, this is like you know a secret nobody else does. Just that little grin. Something that says, I'm good. And I want you to hold on to that to the end of the video. So I'm going to start this off with a did you know? It takes 43 muscle groups to form a frown. 43? Now, when you think about that and you think about all the people frowning in the world, you're like, why are you working so hard? Really, smiling only takes 17 muscles. That's it. 17. You have to work almost 3 times as hard to frown. That's the ratio, almost a 3-to-1. So how do we get there? Well, we start with doing what we're doing. And then the bigger question is why? And that's why we're doing this emotional pulse. I want to tell you a story. Not proud, not proud, but it actually happened. I had been trying to smile for maybe a week. And I was out doing my driving thing and I came across another person and they were on the wrong side of the road, but we were in front of a restaurant, so the rules were jumbled a little bit, and we were both in the wrong. We got into a verbal confrontation. Could have ended badly, but it just ended, which was fortunate. And I came away with it really feeling like I didn't live up to who I am. Let that sink in, because you need to be living up to who you are, not who society says you are, but who you are. And when we take that emotional pulse and we check our own feelings and we go, you know, this is not where I want to be. I want to be happier. I want to be more inviting to others. That's really where I'm kind of trying to head with this, is that we need to get back to the you were meant to be. So smiling is really, like I said at the beginning of the video, is the basics. It's like a coach with an athlete, just getting started and then keep refining those practices. So I left that gentleman, and there was another person in the vehicle, although I didn't get to see who they were. And I started feeling really bad about myself and about that altercation, because I let myself down. I really let myself down. And I thought, you know, if I get a chance to atone for that, I'm going to apologize. And I did. Probably 2-3 days later, I thought it was the same person. If not, it was someone close. And I wrestled with it in the store. It's like, man, this could go either really good or really bad. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to own who I am. And I walked up to this person. I said, look, I apologize. I'm sorry that I was out of line. And the person looked at me like, what are you talking about? I said, weren't you the person outside this restaurant the other day? And he goes, I don't think so. Now, he might have said that because it was true, or he might have said that because he didn't want an altercation. But either way, I had approached him and his girlfriend, wife, I'm not sure who she was, but lady friend, and apologized. Now, even if this wasn't the person, first, it revealed something about me, to me. It was, you know what? I rose to the occasion. I went through the motion to try to fix what I had done wrong. And that's huge for any of us to do. This society is gearing us towards saying and doing things without any self-accountability. And it doesn't matter if somebody else is making you accountable. You are ultimately accountable for you in all things. That living up to who you are really is more important than what society says. And even more important than that, living up to who you were meant to be. So even if this wasn't the person, not only did I make myself accountable and atone it to myself, but now I've given the impression with this person something that they could walk away with as a seed. They'll remember that one time that guy in the store was brave enough, courageous enough to face repercussions for his actions and apologize. And how is that person going to carry that with them? That's going to invite them to think twice for themselves too. So keep smiling, by the way. Don't check your emotions just yet. We're going to do this at the end of the video. So, 43 muscle groups to create a frown. Why do we frown? Well, bad things happen. They just do. And the degree of bad changes from person to person. But that bad doesn't have to define us. And we allow it to in our subconscious, which is what creates that frown to begin with. So now if we make that conscious effort to go, I'm not going to be that person. I want to be more inviting. I want to be happier. 17 muscle groups. You're going to form new muscle memory to get that smile. For myself, I did it while I was driving too. I went out there because that's what I do. I drive. I get into my car, and now that smile just comes around. Here in my own place, doing chores I'd really rather not be doing, I still smile about it. I find reasons to face it in a different way, that muscle memory is starting to seep into me. And these mundane chore tasks, whatever you want to call them, they're not so mundane anymore. I kind of, all right, not dishes, but I look forward to taking care of my place again. And maybe that's you. Maybe you're home right now and you're like, this place, I have a hard time keeping up with me. But when we take that me focus from that frown into a I'm happier moment, you don't even have to be happy. You just paint the smile and it will come. It will. We're going to take that emotional pulse and you're going to see it for yourself. Like I said, while I was driving, I found that when people cut me off or, they're sitting there texting at the stoplight. When it turns green, they're still texting. They're not paying attention to their driving. I'm still finding peace behind the wheel. When bad things happen, I'm not getting upset about it. Does it affect me momentarily? Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm human. We're not perfect. But it doesn't own me much longer than that. It's a moment. And when our internal structure changes, that smile affects our internal structure, we begin to carry that to the people around us. And if we're affecting others positively, remember what I said before, if you want to, and maybe I haven't said it, so I'll say it now. If you want to change the world, you must first change yourself. You've heard that cliche. I never understood it, but now I do. Because by changing myself, I'm affecting others in a more positive way. Even if they're not willing to receive it, because there's going to be those that go, they snub you. They think they're too high and mighty for that. We'll address that issue later on in this channel as well. But for now, let's focus on who we are. Let's focus on how we're going to grow and develop. Let's focus on how our center will change how we adapt and move towards new information. And with that, let's check that pulse again. And how do you feel? I know you're feeling better, because when we're laughing, like with children or grandchildren, it is harder to stay upset with them when they're laughing and giggling. And really, our children are almost the example we should lead by. They use their imagination, they're smiling, they're giggling, they're finding joy in all the little things around them. And that's truly an amazing gift. It really is. So enjoy the rest of your day. Keep smiling. I look forward to reading your comments, answering your questions, and gleaning what I can for future content. Consider liking the videos. It helps me reach other people like yourself, and subscribe to discover new ideas, new videos, and inspirations as we all learn and grow on this journey together. This is Gabriel Roberts with PR Life, your positivity, reflection, connection. Have a blessed day.